Hospitals in Gaza say they are under attack and operating in the dark, but Israel says the battle against Hamas will continue with full force.
Iceland is on high alert as experts warn that a volcanic eruption near the city of Grindvik could start at any time.
Tens of thousands of protesters rally on the streets of Spain against Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's plans to grant amnesty to sentenced Catalan lawmakers. Medics in Gaza continuing to stitch and treat the wounded in the dark, using flashlights inside the Indonesian hospital in Beit Lahia, northern Gaza. This after the last generator at the Al-Shifa hospital, Gaza's largest, ran out of fuel on Saturday, causing the death of 2 premature babies and 4 other patients. Staff at the facility say the complex is under siege and is completely cut off by Israeli forces, claims the Israeli army denies. It says it is targeting Hamas militants near the medical centre. Thousands of Palestinians continue to flee northern Gaza as Israel's military push deeper into dense urban neighbourhoods. According to Hamas health officials, more than 11,080 Palestinians have been killed. Meanwhile, the leader of Lebanon's Hezbollah militant group Hassan Nasrallah says his troops have introduced new weapons in their fight against Israeli soldiers on the Lebanese border. This, as Israel's defence minister warned Beirut could suffer the same fate as Gaza. Despite growing calls for a ceasefire, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says the battle against Hamas will continue with, quote, full force.
A volcanic eruption in or near the city of Grindavik in Iceland could start at any time in the next few days, the country's Met Office has warned. Experts say the magma corridor beneath the city is now 15 kilometres long and in some places just 800 metres below the surface. The full-scale evacuation of Grindavik's 4,000 residents started on Friday, after a dense swarm of almost 800 earthquakes was recorded in the space of just 14 hours.
They're mobile and can fire a hypersonic missile with a 3,800-kilogram warhead at targets up to 500 kilometers away. Ukraine says a Russian Iskander system was used to target Kyiv on Friday night, damaging 18 homes when it was shot down. Celebrations in Kherson to mark the first anniversary of the city's liberation. It fell into Russian hands on March the 3rd, 2022. Even as they celebrate, Kherson's citizens live under the shadow of war. The telltale crackle across the Dnieper River gives them just 7 seconds to find shelter from Russian shelling. Shelling that's targeting heat and power infrastructure as winter looms. A Ukrainian driver died on its western border where 20,000 lorries were hit by a blockade set up by Polish truckers angered by what they see as unfair competition.
Anger on the streets of Spain as demonstrators turned out on Sunday to condemn the government's plans to grant amnesty to Catalan lawmakers who fled the country after a failed secession bid in 2017. The deal, supported by the pro-independence Catalonian Junts, will help incumbent Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez secure the majority he needs to stay in power. But the Conservative PP and far-right Vox parties say the move is a violation of the rule of law. Euronews reporter Jaime Velázquez has more from Madrid.
España no vivía una ola de protestas similar desde la sentencia contra los líderes del proceso en 2019. Entonces los indultos y la apertura del diálogo apaciguaron los ánimos en Cataluña, pero desde aquí, desde el otro lado, para estos manifestantes una nueva ley de amnistía, medida de los socios independentistas de Pedro Sánchez y el regreso de Carles Puigdemont a España sin ser juzgado sobrepasa los límites del Estado de Derecho. A pocos días de la investidura de Pedro Sánchez, la oposición se prepara ya para una larga batalla en los tribunales y también en las calles. En Madrid, Jaime Velázquez, Euronews.
Portugal's Public Prosecutor's Office reportedly confused the name of Prime Minister António Costa with that of Economy Minister António Costa Silva in the transcript of the Operation Influencer wiretaps that led to the fall of the Portuguese government earlier this week. Socialist Costa, who's led Portugal since 2015, stepped down on Tuesday after a corruption investigation appeared to implicate his chief of staff and one of his ministers. Costa has maintained his innocence, but said he couldn't remain in post.